Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today is another day of the 0 to Gold Cap Challenge. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we have been not really gold making, but we're setting ourselves up for gold making. This is because I have actually crafted a load of tide spray bracers and I've sent them over to all of my crafting characters because we're going to fully optimize our TSM for, well, TSM crafting. Now, the thing is, I actually have gotten a load of Expulsum on my mage and also a load of my other characters, and what we're going to be doubling down on is the BFA crafted gear and loads of the other BFA stuff that actually does sell, along with a couple of other things that will be selling as well, such as like Drums of Fury. They still sell very well, and all of that jazz. So things that only sell fast. Now, this is because I preferably like to have things that sell moderately fast and not really go into the stuff that takes a long time to sell, so to speak. Hence why yesterday I said that we probably won't be crafting any of the other engineering mounts as they take forever and a day to actually sell. So what I plan on doing now is we're going to be going into our crafting. Now, the things that I would actually like to say is, for tailoring, we are going to be crafting Deepsea Bandages. They sell very, very well. So if we go all the way down towards the Deepsea Bandages, we can see that we can actually make a profit on them, and the sell rate is 0.17. The actual gold for each bandage is pretty low, but we're going to be selling quite a high volume of this, as they sell about 12 of these a day. So that means that I can actually always have like a stack of like 100 or 200 on the auction house, and with giving the sell rate on this, we're still going to be able to pull in just a nice little uptick when it comes to that. This is all mainly for, even if it's just a little uptick, we're going to be doing loads of other things as well that do give little upticks as well, so it all adds up into the long run. So the next thing of note is we're going to be doing the Sea Breeze Saddle Blanket. We've got that already in our crafting part right now. We're also going to be doing the Deep Sea Bag, as that sells relatively well as well. And also our rank 3 Uncanny Gear. Now, the Uncanny Gear has a lower sell rate, but they are selling at this moment in time due to the fact that people are leveling alts like crazy, and they're all the highest item level crafted gear which sell moderately fast. Now, I will say, however, is the cloak. The Uncanny Combatant Satin Cloak is an item level of 400 and it has a sell rate of 0.13. That means it's going to sell faster than all of the other tailoring stuff, so we'll probably be crafting loads more of this. Now, I've taken the liberty of actually setting myself up for this craft, so without further ado, I'm actually going to craft all of this stuff because we're actually going to do our setup for our daily setup for tailoring, because obviously all the other ones are going to take a little while to set up, and that's probably something that we're not going to do on camera because it's going to take forever and a day, and I don't really want to do like a 3-hour long video in all fairness. So, that being the case, we've just finished our craft. It's nothing spectacular, not like hundreds of thousands of things. We're only making one of everything to make up our groups. So let's jump into our TSM. Now, when it comes into our TSM, we're just actually going to close down all of these massive groups, and we're actually going to go into our base group and craft a new group, which is going to be our tailoring. So with tailoring, we're just going to label it as such. We're going to make a couple of subgroups in that for certain specific things. So the first group will be Uncanny. Actually going to be called Uncanny, and we're just going to select all of our Uncanny gear into that, which means all of it's going to be put down in here, and that means we're going to be able to craft more Uncanny gear. Now, the next thing of note that I would say, however, is the new another tailoring group, which is just for our bags and our blankets. So we're just going to call this bags, so short for utilities. So because the Sea Breeze blanket is a utility, we're just going to add that one in there, and then we're just going to do the other one in tailoring, which is another group, which is going to be our first aid, our Deepsea Bandages in here. So what we're going to be wanting to do now is by creating our operations for our actual tailoring. What we're going to move on to do now is go into our operations, and we're going to go into crafting. Now, with this stuff at the moment, it's at a 10% crafting. It's going to ask us for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them into their corresponding groups. So obviously I've got 5, craft 5, craft 10, craft 100, craft 250 and craft 30. Should have just said that one on the third, but that's not the point. The next point is with the craft 100, obviously I'm going to go into our tailoring, and we're just going to go into first aid, and we're just going to select first aid. So that's actually in the 100. Now for the bags, I don't want to craft too many of these, but I do want to craft quite a few at the same time. So I'm going to have them at the craft 30. So we're going to craft 30 bags at every one time, because obviously this is going to be a daily recraft, so it's not going to be that bad. So what I'll do is I'll just go to bags and utils and just select that in there. That's going to craft 30 sea breeze blankets and 30 bags, which I think will actually be quite good. Now obviously the bags average daily sold is 174, but it's quite competitive, hence why I've put it at crafting only 30 of these. With the Uncanny Gear, however, I'm actually going to do craft 5. So when it comes down to craft 5 for our Uncanny, we're just going to go into tailoring and we're going to craft 5. So that being the case, the basic setup for this is minimum restock quantity for one craft 100 is 20, the maximum is 100 of course, and the minimum profit is at 10% crafting. I actually covered this in my Noob's Guide to TSM Crafting, in which I actually went through how to actually do this. But aside from that, that being the case, we can then go into our auctioning, actually copy our poster, our simple poster. We're actually going to copy that. And what we're going to do is there's no groups assigned to this. That is good. What we're actually going to do now is we're going to actually set the price of what I'm going to be actually posting at. And that is going to be, we're going to post at our minimum is going to be what we've actually set for our crafting, which is 110% crafting. So the post at minimum price is 110% crafting because we want to make a profit on this. And then subsequently we're actually going to do this again for our normal and our maximum, but we're actually going to change some of the values. Now for the maximum price, I'm just going to put 700. And for the normal price, I'm just going to do 120% crafting. So now this will actually post all of these that are assigned to this group. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to call this Profession Crafted Poster, so we can actually understand where it actually is in our TSM setup. And all we're going to do is we're going to go down to tailoring, and we're only going to select the actual tailoring group, because it will just grab all of them that are in there, and I would just say I'm just going to post everything that's under the actual main group of TSM tailoring, of my group tailoring. Everything inside of here will just get posted at the posting profession craft. So tailoring's now done. So that being the case, what we're going to be doing now is we're actually going to press our restock. So we're going to clear the queue, we're going to go into groups, and we're also going to unselect all of our cooking and inscription stuff. So that being the case, we will be moving this over towards our crafted professions in a bit. All the groups move alongside with that, so don't worry about it. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm just going to select the entire group and press restock. Now at this moment in time, the only things that are actually viable to craft are the Deepsea Bandages and the Sea Breeze Blanket. Things are not actually going to be crafted for this, but even though that actually comes up, it's actually got all of our tailoring stuff already attached. Now the next thing is to actually post all of this to the auction house, so we'll just go into our Mighty Caravan Brutosaur and we'll go into our TSM. So this is basically what I'm going to be doing for all of my professions, so we're just going to deselect all that and just go with our tailoring, and it will just literally scan all of the stuff we just crafted in order to sell on the auction house. And now it actually goes with our profession crafted stuff, and then it's just valuing it at what it's actually valued at, and then I can then post that all to the auction house for a sizable amount of gold. That being the case, that's all added to the auction house now and ready for restocking. And pretty much that is basically the bottom line of what I'm going to be doing for all of our stuff. So obviously it's going to cost me 6,000 gold for the restocking of the initial investment, for a 1,500 gold return on our Deepsea Bandages and our Seabree saddle blanket. Along with this, that is basically the setup in which I'm going to be using for my Uncanny Gear and all of my tailoring stuff. Now overall, that's basically what I'm going to be doing for all of my other professions for the day. It's been just a standard day of just me yesterday just scrapping loads of tide spray braces to get all of my expulsum up, so we don't have to make expulsum on the daily, because we want to be able to do it on pretty much the weekly. So that being the case, let's actually get into our gold, which is not a lot because I actually looted it all when I was crafting all of my tide spray braces. The gold that you actually see in the bags is just me sending over all of the raw gold that I've actually managed to accumulate from all of my characters for the last few days, and that is 29,200 gold. I thought I'd send that over to Giblet, as pretty much I've just spent a load of gold as well. So we're just gathering that all together to make sure that we have it all in one place, leaving about 500 gold on each other character that we actually have, because I want all of my gold pooled in one place, so then if I want to do a big investment, I can. Now aside from that, that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing for the day. I'm just going to be setting up our professions for daily gold, and then once that's all done, we can then go with all of the other things moving forward. Now aside from all of this, that is pretty much all I have to say for the day. Take it easy, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.